I was hoping we'd be working with some lower level peon in the mighty apparatus that keeps esports going, someone more easily convinced, but it seems that Punchy78 took me all the way to the top of the food chain to plead my case. Great. Just great. So I wanted to let you know that Valkyrie is cheating. Vicky doesn't cheat. Believe it or not, I've known Vicky since she was a little brat running around my favorite arcade. It's one of the reasons I can call her that instead of her silly Valkyrie gamer tag. And she's annoying, okay, but not a cheater. That's not the Vicky I knew. Hate to say it, but that little brat grew up to be an even larger brat. She's cheating, and we have proof. She's using a software app on her phone to hack into FOD2 games remotely, modifying the code to make her easily win her matches. There's also the not-so-small matter of cyberbullying, harassment, possibly attempted murder, and... You're kidding me. Seriously? This is seriously what you're wasting my time with? While I'm running around trying to keep the whole event from collapsing on itself? Nobody can hack FOD2. I wrote its security systems myself. The USB ports and the Wi-Fi are locked against unauthorized access. Yeah, that's kind of narcissistic for you to think that your game is impregnable or like unhackable. She's found a way. She's got a way of doing it. Trust me. Trust the newbie on the scene who lost his spotlight recently and would do anything to get it back? I think I can see why I'd be doubtful. Vicky's hardly a friend, but she's no stranger to me. You, on the other hand, are a stranger. I'm not gonna buy into this just on your say-so. Unless you have solid reasoning why I should take this seriously. I can't go into exclusive detail about Iris or risk the entire Iris collective being exposed. How the heck can I sell this without being able to give him all the facts? She's a bad influence on the community you've created. I can prove that to you. Wouldn't you want to know if someone's cracked your uncrackable game? Valkyrie is a criminal, and I'll stake everything on the fact. Okay, fine. Have fun dealing with your 0-day exploit in the wild. I'm out. I think he would be more, I feel like he would be more into logical. Wouldn't you want to know if someone's cracked your uncrackable game? No system is uncrackable. Everything has vulnerabilities. Don't you want to know what those vulnerabilities are? Wouldn't you want to know who broke your trust? What I'm offering to you is a simple exchange. Give us a chance to prove Valkyrie's broken the rules and broken your game engine. In return, you get to clean house. If we're wrong, we're on your bad side. We'll accept whatever penalty that entails. But if we're right, if your code has been cracked, if he's Angel or Scott on there, that is a win-win situation. And if he's as smart as he claims he is, that's a no-brainer. Well, I'm thinking you'd want to know more, wouldn't you? I don't like the idea that my long-standing security monitor system's been compromised, not one bit. But I've heard accusations like these before, more times than you can count. Every time, nothing came of it. Why should I give time of day to this one? Mr. Takeshi, please. I wouldn't want to waste your time. I think there may be something to this. You know Valkyrie has a long history of being petty over tiny slights, and there's been other rumors of players cheating at FOD2. Using a macro program controller isn't the same as hacking the game. It's just being a jerk and breaking the rules. This goes beyond using a TurboFire controller. This is something that could run deep, something that'll just get worse if it's not confronted. You know me, Jason. You know I respect your time. All I'm asking in return is to take this seriously. If you work with me on this, you'll be getting out ahead of a scandal. You'll be in a prime position to respond, live and direct, with press coverage. It'll show the community that you care. I like Punchy78's logic. Of course I care. This is my life. This is too much. I've never wanted this. I never wanted any of this to happen. You know why I made the original Fist of Discomfort? Back when I was a teenager, my friends and I made an amazing arcade game. But while they went on to better things, I got stuck grinding a business software day job. That boredom drove me to pull my FOD prototype out of mothballs, try to realize my dreams like they had. I was tired of coding spreadsheet software, and an arcade game that requires you to think sounded fun. Really? An arcade game that's about rock, paper, scissors makes you think that much? That's all it ever was meant to be. Something fun. I mean, essentially Pokemon is also pretty much a rock, paper, scissors game. Not quite, but, at the battle at its core is almost like rock, paper, scissors. But it's way more interesting. I never wanted to be the ridiculous monster that it's become. But no, because it turned out to be a profit fountain, I'll be cranking out sequels until the teeth death of the universe. And now we've got people hacking my game just to get ahead, so they can get their hands on a shiny gold trophy? It's not even real gold, it's gaudy costume jewelry. So, can we go ahead with the anti-cheat software, or... The company is leaning on me to make the game bigger every season, and sponsors lean on me to change it this way and that, and now teams are asking me to install weird software? Sure, fine, whatever. It's not like it's even the first change I've had to make it to the game today alone. Oh, okay. So we can go ahead. Thanks for your... Wait, we're not the only ones to ask for a change? I just got an email from our sponsors demanding we force the players to use their branded joysticks for the final round. Oh, I'll be in a handicap because I don't use joysticks. I thought the whole point of the USB ports was to let players use whatever they're comfortable with, but who cares about consistency? Sure, let's disable the USB ports and force our players to use the built-in sticks. Let's make that decision on the literal day of the finals. Why not? Whoa, whoa, whoa. We have to use the default joysticks? I can't use my usual keyboard. Not good for the brand, they said. Gotta consider the wishes of the sponsor, they said. Fine, no USB for anyone, and now we're putting weird anti-cheat software on it. Fine, I'm just the lead designer. What do I matter? At least this doesn't screw over Locksley, who already knows how to play on default sticks. But me? I'm boned. I only know how to play on a keyboard. It wouldn't surprise me in the least if the sponsor request he's ranting about was spoofed by Valkyrie just to mess with me. But I'm not going into this match expecting to win. The plan is to lose and catch her cheating. The plan doesn't change. Fine, as long as we can still install the software. I'm going to review your code, obviously. Make sure it's not like anti-cheat software. But if it's legit and Vicky is cheating, well, there'll be consequences, assuming anyone listens to me, which they usually do not, as I pointed out repeatedly. Right. Thank you for your time. We'll see the truth once the match is underway. Whatever. Wow. Yeah, he's has had a bad time in this industry. But the good news is we'll have your trap loaded and ready to spring. Assuming that there's actually any cheating going on, I need to stay skeptical. Wouldn't be a good reporter if I just take your word for it. We'll know soon enough, and you'll be ready to scoop as many exclusive interviews as you can. Okay, I'm gonna get a fresh stack of VHS tapes for this. See you in 2 hours? Why is it you record on obsolete media? You upload digital video to the internet in the end anyway. I like to remember my roots, you know? Arcades have a long and storied history, but esports moves so fast that sometimes we forget what came before. Forget history at your own peril. I like that. Punchy78, that's a cool philosophy. I respect you for that. Besides, creativity is sparked by limitation more than boundless freedom. You're forced to find new ways to work within the medium. Makes me a better content creator. Punchy78 is really awesome. I don't care what anybody says. He's not just a pretty face. Okay, you go stack some blank tapes. I'll get my team ready for the big event. See you soon, and then, well, we'll see when we see. Okay, 2 hours until things get weird. Until then, we're just an ordinary esports team, and not a shadow conspiracy to attack and dethrone. Not a shadow conspiracy to attack and dethrone God. And what do ordinary esports teams do in the run-up to a major match? Well, either relax or talk strategy. Hang out together, basically. Wow, it's crowded back here, but hey, time to get the band back together one last time. It's not like we're disbanding after this. No, but we also don't know what's going to happen after everything hits the fan. So hey, let's share some friend time before that happens. Indeed, even if only 2 of our number will be on the stage, we are 7 strong and rolled 7 deep. Let it be known. Pretty sure folks know that by this point, Locksley. I feel like we should be distributing mugs of mead before marching off to war, or something. I have these Crimson Tiger cans I swiped from their booth, if it helps. Hard pass, Domino, but spending time together before battle, that's more my style. It would be nice to have a quiet moment with friends before everything goes sideways. Plus, Iris mentioned I could switch up my strategy if I practice some other approaches. That'd be a great opportunity to do that. Not a whole lot of time left though. Maybe time enough for 3. Let's see. Zapper, Grace, Rhapsody, Jinx, Domino. That's enough. Let's move on. I mean, I guess yeah, everyone except for my significant other. So, yeah, let's do it. Okay. So, I guess because we already have a lot of points towards Locksley, they're trying to have us chat with everybody else to diversify a bit. So let's talk to Grace. Grace is wide-eyed with wonder, watching the backstage mechanics of the world's most important esports event. She barely notices my approach.
That's wonderful.
So many people working together to make this all possible. Isn't it amazing, Angel Arts? It's really a testament to what we can do when we cooperate to bring something beautiful into this world. It's an esports tournament. There's literally hundreds of these all over the planet every year, big and small. I know, and that's beautiful too. Not everybody creating one of these events is doing it so out of a communal sense of solidarity with the arcade community, and the participants often only care about personal glory. But this wouldn't be happening at all if not for the love of arcades and video games as a whole. There's good and bad, but I choose to focus on the good. I'm so happy we could be here now, in this moment. I know it's not everything you hoped for when you first joined us, but it's not how I imagined it'd be, no. But I'm past feeling like winning is the only thing that matters. What we do here today is going to be important in the long run, not just for Magnificent 7, but for everyone. Exactly. And I wanted to thank you personally, not just for letting me be a part of this. I didn't let you do anything. You are a part of this. Well, yeah, I am absolutely a part of this because I chose to be. But you presented me with that choice. Before Magnificent 7, I was content to aimlessly tinker and play, unsure what my future would be. I'll admit I was avoiding the outside world. I'd grown up inside a bubble, and even after breaking out, I'd simply found a new bubble to enjoy. Now I know my future. I'm not turning away from the world, I'm breaking out of all my bubbles. And looking ahead.
Thank you so much.
So, thank you. Thanks for helping me find my ambition. Thank Iris, not me. She's the one who got me out of my bubble. The world will benefit from your presence in it, Grace. Through Magnificent 7, we're going to accomplish great things. Grace Cooper has entered the chat. Several people are typing. The world will benefit from your presence in it, Grace. If anyone should be thanking anyone, it's the world thanking you for stepping out of that bubble. Because the world could really, really use Grace Cooper in it. You're a genius. I don't use that word lightly. You are a genius, and we'll all benefit from your kindness and intellect. Aw, you're making me blush. Thanks so much. I have an optimistic view for humanity. We aren't destined to destroy ourselves. We can pull ourselves from these messes we're in. And I'll happily do my part in making that happen. I'll admit I'm glad I'm not up there on stage with you today, though. This could get a little weird. And even if I'm daring to stand on my own 2 feet, I'm still a bit antsy about my family noticing the weirdness I'm involved in. Don't worry, Grace. I've got this. You'll be out of the spotlight. Okay, but you be careful. I don't want you getting hurt. Good luck, friend. Let's move to Jinx next. Normally Jinx standing around for hours would be a bad thing, but we planned ahead and brought a chair perfectly sized and shaped for her. She sits comfortably, offering me a nod as she rests her hand on her end of her cane.
Hey.
Almost showtime? Yep, almost showtime. Heck of a run to get here. The hotel is like 1 block away from the stadium. Meant metaphorical, not literal, as in we've come a long way. Had my doubts about you when all this got started, you know. Stormed in, threatening change to my comfortable little arrangement of friends. And Grace, gotta admit, I was worried all this bluster and pride and ambition would severely rattle her anxiety. But didn't shake out that way, did it? You navigated the waters just fine. And here we are. We're not done yet. We're purposely exposing an esports scandal in public. Still plenty of time for our ship to sink.
Can't agree to that.
Nah, you'll be fine. Gotten out of tighter scrapes than this. Been watching you work from the sidelines, seeing how you handle things. Compassion seems to be your go-to. Not my style, but seems to work for you and Grace. So I won't knock it. Gets your results. It's very apparent how close Jinx and Grace are. I do enjoy their friendship too. Main things I'd suggest once you're on stage, keep your eyes open. I wasn't planning on blindfolding myself.
Hold on.
Stay observant. Keep the brain ticking. We're working on a lot of assumptions here. If any of those prove wrong, we're ready to adapt. You got me? Like if they don't actually cheat. I'm sure we'll be fine, and in the end, we'll be making esports a more welcoming place. So if our base assumptions are wrong, what's the alternative explanation? I can adapt to any situation. I'll play this by instinct, come what may. If we're wrong about this and P2W doesn't cheat, we are completely boned. So if our base assumptions are wrong, what's the alternative explanation? I'm not sure any other interpretation of the facts is possible. We know Valkyrie has an iris, and we know she's a vicious and cruel person. What other explanation could there be? Not sure. Not yet. But something's off like she's not gonna cheat. And I want to be sure you're ready to accept that you may be wrong. I'm always open to new facts. I won't be blind to them. Good, that's all I ask.
See you later.
Or maybe somebody else cheated and not Valkyrie. Maybe somebody else cheated. That's a really interesting theory. Right, enough chit-chat. Go get him. Maybe Hunter cheated. Oh, maybe Hunter's the one who cheated and Valkyrie had nothing to do with it. Oh, that would be an interesting twist. Which means I might have to take Hunter down. Oh my gosh, that's it. If I romanced him, sheesh. I'm guessing that might be it. That might be the twist, is Valkyrie was the one who didn't actually cheat, but Hunter did. Yes, ma'am. Let's go talk to Domino. Domino's loitering about the place, engaging in people watching, studying the layout of Lawson Memorial, generally soaking in the atmosphere. As I approach, he lazily rolls his head to gaze my way.
Hey there.
Hey, hey. Hey, what do you think? We finally hit the big time. The size of one's time is overrated, and you scale things up large enough, you can't really grasp the entirety of it at once. It stops being about the people and starts being about the scene, and that's a pity. It takes away the human element, it becomes a groupthink. Dang it, Domino, quit bringing down the mood. It's okay, it's okay. I know you have reservations about all the nonsense surrounding FOD2. Yeah, well, I can conveniently shove all of that aside in favor of focusing on what's in front of me. Namely you. You're in front of me.
Color me pleasantly surprised.
Maybe I'm not a big timer, but I'll admit that I'm impressed we've gotten this far. There's no way that it'd been possible without you. So hey, revel in it. Soak yourself in it. Really go hog wild. You've earned this. Even if we're sacrificial lambs to expose the sins of P2W, I mean, that part kind of brings down the mood with or without my buzzkill. What's your take on that anyway? How do you mesh our rise to glory without our inevitable public humiliation? Well, keeping the scene healthy and discouraging toxicity is more important to me. It's less about our fame and more about seeing that justice is done. After P2W's in the dirt, it will have a smooth run to the top next year. We may look like fools, but the court jester is the only one who can mock the king. Keeping the scene healthy and discouraging toxicity is more important to me. This isn't really about us, not our glory, our fame, or reputation. We're doing a public service today by exposing cheaters. The scene, as you put it, is still made up of people with hopes and dreams, and by showing that cheaters never win, we can support those hopes and dreams. Without P2W as the flagship of this community, maybe we'll see a fall in player toxicity. Maybe we can start to see change, and that's worth any embarrassment. And if our reputation is the pride of salvage, this is the price. And if our reputation is a price to salvage this community, ring me up at the register. Agreed. As much as I worry herds of humans will inevitably run themselves off a cliff, anything we can do to prevent that is worthwhile. Domino takes a deep breath, glancing around the temple of esports. Then back at me. You're a heck of a guy, you know? Didn't think our little laundromat crew could ever accomplish much, for good or ill. Just play in our own corners until some of us eventually drift away. But you make this team work. You make us better.
Thank you.
So no matter the chaos and mayhem we're slam-dunking ourselves into later, I've got your back, okay? Thank you, Dom. Thanks, Domino.
Seeing you.
Thank me after we survive this. For now, gonna go pee. Later. That's so much like Domino. As I'm glancing around the room, Locksley waves for my attention and walks over to join me. Angelots, have you some time to spare? A little? I mean, we've got an hour until everything goes straight to heck, so...
Excellent!
Plenty of time to go on a date. A minor date. Small scale. Not as impressive as you deserve, but a brief romantic liaison would be lovely, yes? Are you trying to have a random makeout session in the stairway? Because I'm not adverse to it. A date? Now? Indeed. You've been so focused on this upcoming bachelor that it's wound you tighter than a spring. Don't deny it, Angelots. I know you too well for that. He does. So let's take these last moments before we walk into the flames to simply enjoy each other's company. Yes, I'm all over that. I could protest, but he's not wrong. I'm tense and nervous heading into the final confrontation, and a little time with Locksley would be comforting, heck yes. Okay, but we need to keep an eye on the clock. Rest assured I shall retain one eye on the time and one eye on your person. It may destroy my stereoscopic vision, but that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make.
Tally-ho!
Oh, cool. I guess I didn't get a chance to talk to Zapper and Rhapsody. Attached to the Jerry Lawson Memorial Esports Stadium is in fact an arcade. Just like the kind of small arcade you'd find jammed in a corner of a movie theater or a shopping mall. It's got a little bit of everything, all the flagged bears of the arcade scene, and maintained in excellent condition, although one thing strikes me as odd. Nobody's here. A few bored kids, one or two stray adults, but all the esports types who came for the Pro Tour are nowhere to be found. Good, good. I was hoping for a little peace and quiet. Seems the monomaniacal focus on the gaming crowd on the tournament means we've time to ourselves. Now then, if I may suggest an activity to enjoy together, let's win you a prize, a keepsake, a memento of this moment. Locksley, my dude, I have like 8 plushies already from you. Ever since we started dating, you've given me like 20% of your spoils of war. Starting to wonder if you're taking the whole knight in service to Angel Arts thing too seriously and paying me a tithe. Ah, but this time, it is you who will obtain the treasure. Me, but I'm terrible at prize games. To be fair, most everyone is, because they're quite rigid. But I can... rigged, because they're quite rigged. But I can teach you the moves you need to counterplay against the capitalists and pilfer their golden hoard. Yes, Locksley, show me your moves. Teach me your moves.
Shall we?
Demonstrate your moves. What say you? I'd rather not get kicked out by security for hacking a game right now. Is this a heist? Are we heisting? Can we have cool names? I do enjoy a good pilfering. Let's get a prize. I don't want to be a spoil sport, but this is what I would say. Can we do something else? I was kind of thinking we would just hang out, not hack a prize. That was kind of feeling. Is this a heist? Are we heisting? Can we have cool names? I'd rather not get kicked out by security for hacking a game right now. I know you enjoy being kicked out of the arcades and doing arcade crimes, but if we get booted from Lawson Memorial, our plans evaporate. I don't think we can risk it right now just to have some fun. Please, Angel Arts, have a little faith. I wouldn't jeopardize the upcoming fight. The method I'm going to teach you is perfectly legal. It's just a matter of understanding your opponent and counterplaying them. Perfectly good esports strategy. Okay, if he puts it that way, I will trust Locksley. I will take that leap of faith. Locksley gestures to a fairly rundown crane game, probably not repaired or even restocked since 1990X.
Ah, a fine adventure.
This is a worthy opponent. You'll be fighting against its programmed avarice and the innate quirkiness of poorly maintained technology. And you honestly think I can get a prize from this thing? This claptrap. I have no doubt. Coin up and let's take our test run at it. An initial sortie to feel out the enemy, if you will. Okay. I take up the stick and buttons, memorizing which one does what, move the crane this way and that, drop it down, grab it. Seems simple enough, which is the trap, of course, because I maneuver the crane over a tasty-looking chocobo plushie and drop it down. It misses. Alignment seems off, but how much would you say? By how much would you say? Looked like it wobbled back and to the left, back and to the left. Correct, one more try, but this time aim forward and to the right of your target. And my next coin goes down the drain as the crane lines up perfectly, descends and has a grip strength weaker than a kitten, just sliding right off the plushie without any hope. Now we reach the key to understanding prize machines, the fix. They're designed to only pay out with proper grip strength periodically. Operators can set how often it's actually plausible to pull a prize. Right now we're between cycles, but the question is, where in the cycle? That is such a dirty thing, but I totally see why that would be a great technique. Marion, consult my notes on let's see, this is a Grabomatic 4000 by Nostalgia Commodities. What's the default cycle? 5 attempts, my lord. Excellent, we've already had 2 fails. Within the next 3 passes, we'll have that prize. That's assuming that my total miss wasn't the one that was the tighter grip. If your accuracy holds true, are you ready? 3 tries, got it, here we go. First try, accurate, but still just as weak. Second try, I missed the mark ever so slightly, but the crane still had a weak grab, so nothing lost. And the third try, got it! I happily retrieved my plush RPG Chicken Horse from the dispenser chute, and despite its cheap manufacture, it does feel a bit more valuable knowing I got it myself.
Marvelous.
Now then, to best this game myself, Locksley seemingly makes 4 random grabs for 4 random prizes, each time getting a bit more used to the machine's drift. And on the 5th drop, he focuses all his energy. And pulls a small velvet box? What's that doing in there? Did he sneak it in when I wasn't looking? Oh, wow. If this is going where I think it's going, even I think that's a little too fast. Even for a visual novel, but okay. He definitely retrieves a small item from the chute and turns to me. Angel Arts, hark.
In our time together, You've made me a happy man. And beyond any silly oath of loyalty, beyond my knightly aspirations, you've reached the heart of the man behind the name Locksley.
Melvin Weege.
I'd say our understanding began shortly after Harms's tournament, when I opened my world up to you. And you did not run from it. You see me, all of me, and accept it. Around you, even if I aspire to be greater, I can be Melvin Weege, the hopeless drama club kid. And I know, if I am ultimately Melvin, I'll still be loved.
I really like his name, Melvin Weege. I can understand why he might find that off-putting, but I like it. I think it's a really cute, adorable name. And now he's dropping to one knee. Are you seriously about to...
Therefore, with all my heart, I ask you...
This is a fake out. He's not really proposing. He's gonna ask something else. He's proposing. This is actually happening. He's proposing. And when he opens the tiny velvet ring box in his hands, it's empty. It's an empty ring box.
Would you consider the possibility of marriage in the future?
That is so cute. I like that. The possibility of marriage in the future. What?
Well, even if I've come to know you deeply over months, we've only started getting serious for a month.
Yeah, it's very early.
It's too early for the full proposal and a proper ring. I don't aim to ambush you and force you into that sort of situation. No. What I wanted to offer was my willingness. A promise. Rather than an ultimatum. That if you should be interested in such things, you would find me amenable.
I really like this, actually. I really think this is super cool. Your mileage may vary, but I like the thought that, look, I'm not, saying that, that we definitely, have to make the promise now that we're getting married. I don't want to make that promise, but I want you to know it's certainly something that Locksley is interested in ultimately if the feeling is mutual. Like, he is very much interested in ultimately someday getting engaged to be married. It's just right now it's just too early, which I think is great, because I, for one, when I started dating someone, I wanted to know, relatively early, if the other person would be open to having children, because if not, that's a big deal breaker. It's a big deal breaker if the other person doesn't want to have kids. And the other thing is, I want to date because I want to eventually find the person that I would marry. And if the person is not interested in marriage, or do not see themselves eventually marrying me or wanting to marry me, something like that's something that I would want to know sooner rather than later. And something like this is a really cool idea. I like this a lot, because it shows that, I recognize it's too soon, and I recognize that I don't want to push you too fast through things, because he probably isn't really technically ready either. But he just wanted to give me an FYI and say, hey, if later on we've given ourselves enough time, just know that if you do want to get engaged and get married, he would be amenable to it, which is a really great message.
This way, I don't pressure you into an immediate do-or-die moment. The empty box represents what could be, if you desire it. Your consent is key.
Okay, I just really want to throw my arms around him and give him a big kiss right now.
Above
yes,
all,
Locksley.
You have my heart, my love, and should you ever require more of me, I would give it gladly.
That sounds amazing. Maybe not right this moment, but hold that thought. Let's wait a tick. Hold that thought. Maybe after the festivities, we can talk about me requiring more of you, that you could give gladly. We could talk more of that. Locksley, if we're both ready when the time is right, I'll say yes. You know what? Let's get engaged for realsies right here, right now. That's sweet, but I just can't now or ever. If we're both ready... No, I don't want him to be like, I want to be reasonable. Like, sure, this would be a great gut reaction for a visual novel, but realistically, I'll say if we're both ready when the time is right, I'll say yes. The future's big and wild and unknown, but if the time comes when we're both ready for this, you won't find me saying no.